Nothing's actually changed, Earl. Unsuccessful in becoming a member of Parliament, but that doesn't change my commitment to the people of Devonshire North Central. I made a single promise to everybody that I met, that I would be committed, engaged, and concerned. And I plan to remain that way. I'm looking to start the new campaign very, very shortly, because I believe that the quality of representation that Devonshire North Central deserves has to be at that level. So nothing politically changes for me. I'm going to go back out there, I'm going to go meet the people, so the next time round they make a different decision.
Now, has there been any talk with the Premier about possibly a Senate seat and then maybe a ministerial post from the Senate?
I have not made that lobby. I know that the new Premier would have had a lot of people lobbying for position. I'm not that type of person. You know me not to be the type of person that's going to lobby for a position. The Premier knows what my abilities are and he knows my skills. He also has my phone number, so he can call me at any time. I'm willing to serve wherever I believe the Premier wants me to serve. But most importantly is the connecting with the people. Everybody knows me in the community as a football referee. They know me to be sports-minded. They know me to be community-minded. I'm more concerned about the service that we as a now new government give to the people from a sporting background. Because sports is what creates character, teaches integrity. We've got to teach that to our young people, and I think that we have enough people sitting around the table that we're going to get that done.
Now, what type of reception did you get last night? It was more than just some 24 hours earlier. You were in that other battle politically. What type of reception did you get from last night? Last night from the players, from the spectators, from the coaches?
It was football. Nothing. When I say nothing's changed, I got congratulations. I was welcomed warmly. We then went out and blew the whistle, and we had a great time. This is what football and sports brings to this country. Not 24 hours before, I was getting all sorts of things. But when we went back out on the football field, I got congratulations from all the teams, all the coaches, the spectators. I think had a newfound respect for what they saw me trying to do. And I think that benefits our sport. I'm loving the fact that our sports people, while they may not have completely engaged in the political process, understood what I was trying to do for us as sports people.
Now, amongst your colleagues, now current government, what has been some of the talk? We've heard all the talk about financial, school. We have heard very little about sport in general.
Yeah.
What has been some of the talk prior to you becoming the government of some of the things that you would like to implement as a party to sport, helping it, growing it, expanding it? What are some of the things that's been talked about?
We've been talking about how to engage our young people back in sport. One of the reasons is because we see sport as a way to do several things. Like I said before, engaging them, teaching them character and integrity. But what it does for the country is, from a holistic view, is it makes healthcare costs start to go down. Because a healthy country has less healthcare costs. So when we begin to think about what sports can do, we want to re-engage sports into our schools. We want to see our children re-engage. We want to see them up and out, not playing Xbox, but actually playing. We want to see our teams come together. We want to see a strong Carifta team. When we go to our next Carifta games, we want to see us perform extremely well. We want to see our track and field athletes continue to do what they've been doing. Our swimming athletes continue to do that. Our sailing people. We've got hockey to go on. See, so when we sit around the table, we're talking about engaging our community because we're a sports-minded community. We like our sports. So we've already discussed how to redo that, talking about SANS 360, bringing them, getting them involved more. All of our national governing sports bodies, giving them a home is most important so that our national athletes have an identity. Because one of the things that I found as in a sporting body is we don't have the Bermudian identity. When we go down to Jamaica, you know a Jamaican athlete. When you go to Trinidad and Tobago, you know them. We've got to establish the Bermuda brand that says when we walk through an airport, when we come out on the field, you know we're Bermudian, and we're proud to be Bermudian, and that not just the government, but the people of Bermuda are standing behind our athletes.
Now, there was some chatter when the former government announced the statue for Clarence Hill.
Yes.
What type of debates, discussions around the table prior to becoming the government did you and your colleagues have, whether or not this will be honored, or will you look at it and go another way?
I've personally had a couple of conversations, and when the person we want to honor says, I don't want the statue, I prefer a gym, then we have to consider that, because Clarence Hill should have been honored when the honor was due. Now, in order to honor him, maybe we should consider his wishes. Maybe we could consider creating a gym so that we can produce boxers. We've got Teresa getting ready to go again. Why don't we have a national boxing gym where we can train our young people so that we can see more Clarence Hills, not just winning a bronze medal way back when I was almost just 5 years old, and just now we're talking about recognizing him. That's not good enough. Clyde Best should have been Sir Clyde Best by now. So when we talk about doing things for our athletes, we've got Penny Simmons, the sailor, who has won multiple world championships, and we haven't honored him. We need to do better when it comes to our sports people. And since I'm now part of the sitting government, that's going to happen, because I'm advocating for our sports people so that they know that Bermuda cares about them. They know that the government is listening, and that we're going to do what we can to make sure that our sports people have the resources, time, and facilities to be the best that they possibly can be.
Now, the argument to that is some of the people that could have made that decision back then are now your colleagues.
Yeah.
Are they still open and welcome to their suggestions? Because they wouldn't make their suggestions back when those accomplishments were made.
And they are my colleagues, but they've changed. Nobody can ever tell me that they have not changed, because I'm sitting around the table. Remember that when they weren't my colleagues, they brought me in. And so they're talking to me about, and what can we do for sports? So now we've begun to have a changed discussion. Now they're beginning to listen and see how important sports is, not just from a national level, but internationally. We've got more of our guest workers and our friends from international business playing sports. They come here and they play sports with us. So when we see the number of international businesses that are giving money for sports, that are sponsoring sports, that are putting their time and energy into sports, we had better recognize that sports is not just about what happens on the field. It is a holistic thing, and it'll keep us fit, it'll keep us energized, and it'll keep us engaged as communities. And we are still the One Bermuda Alliance.